just stated the actual need is for a letter of support for a grant from FEMA. And there's one letter here that's coming around, and I apologize, I didn't get all the copies made for it, and I'll leave the other one for the audience here. But basically, this came to us just about 2 weeks ago, and one of the issues that we have at the hospital is our generator and its ability to, when we need it, to function the whole hospital. As a matter of fact, currently what happens when the generator has to come up, Jed tells us that he doesn't want to run it for any more than 2 hours, bring it down for an hour, then bring it back up for 2 hours because it overheats. He has to replenish the fluid in it to keep it cool. There have been some bids to make it, to get the heads fixed on it, and that's anywhere between $30,000 and $40,000 to get the heads fixed on it. And
but
then
get it too hot, crack the head, or?
Yeah, one of the things that Jed wasn't able to let us know was when that happened, even talking to the Cummings guys, for as old as it was, was it a defect when it was new? And they don't know that.
How old is it, roughly?
Good question. I'll find out. I think it was, I want to say it was either put in the 70s, late 70s or early 80s.
And it's a diesel generator. Okay.
Correct. And
do you guys run it regularly to make it test, to make sure it's running? Does Jed have a fire it up kind of thing?
He does. I don't know his exact schedule, but he does it at least once a month.
Yeah,
cranks it up,
keeps it on record.
Because he has to show that to the inspectors when they come out that it's up and running. Also, the way that where it sits, also our air handlers, the smoke from the generator goes into the building as well when it does come up. It doesn't keep the whole building lit up, if you will. It only will work on one side of the building, and then the kitchen. I just found this out just not too long ago, but the kitchen doesn't even function completely when it has to be kicked on.
What do you say? It ain't big enough to handle?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not big enough to handle the. It was put in when there was only one half there. When the new building was put in, it wasn't.
This is right by the emergency room entrance. Okay, it's just as you would be going in the emergency room, and it'd be there to your right.
Well,
I don't know.
Wasn't there used to be two of them? Wasn't there one up in the attic or some damn thing? Wasn't? I just think there used to be one.
Well, I think maybe you might be thinking the second boiler or the air handler.
Oh, I guess that's what it was. The second.
You're right. They're
yeah,
up. They call it the penthouse.
Yeah, that's right. It was the second boiler.
So how much bigger one do you need to get?
Well,
or you got it on here, I guess?
No, it's not on here. This was actually what we received from FEMA and from the Montana Disaster and Emergency Services, letting us know that, hey, this was not to all hospitals and things, but basically, let me just get to the one point. It's third paragraph down. It says, to refresh, HMGP's 5% initiative is the only FEMA mitigation grant which can be used to purchase generators and related hookup equipment. And it says, but this opportunity won't last and may not come again in these kinds of dollars amounts for several years to come, and then in parentheses until the next very large disaster in Montana. It was the other part. We actually had a meeting last week as well, and it was about our disasters and what are the things, what would happen, what do we need for disaster preparedness. One of the things that it came to light was, from what we understand currently, is that there was only 2 buildings that had generators, and we put a scenario together. Was there an ice storm? Roads were closed down. We had to operate at the hospital for 96 hours without electricity, and that's kind of what disaster preparedness was looking at. And one of the things that was kind of awakening to us is when we asked Jed, how long can you run that generator? That's when he told us 2 hours to 1 hour off, and having to replenish that. Knowing that it's the only healthcare facility in the county, The other generator, we was informed that it was in the sheriff's office.
There is one in the
Sheriff's office. And the school not having one, that could be, we thought about space and utilization for folks who didn't have power and needed warmth and things like that during that time period. Where would they go? Where could they go in that type of a scenario? And our anticipation was, okay, they would try to come, just like most disasters, try to come to their healthcare center or appointed center to where maybe the school or things like that. But if the school's closed down, we're the only ones available with that generator if everything's closed off. So we're not working. So, no, go ahead.
Does this generator fit right in where the other one was, or you have to put a new building?
Not,
I guess that's.
sure. Jed actually asked that we move it to the other side of the building. If you let's see, that would be the north side of the building because it's on the south side in the emergency room area. So just to the other side of the building, because then that way his speculation is that then we wouldn't have the issue with the smoke getting into the building when it's kicked on. Also, there'd be a more direct route downstairs to where our power is hooked up.
Is there space back there?
Yes. He kind of showed us where that would be to the right of that building. There's a shed back there. To the right.
Probably a bigger generator, but smaller in size.
Yeah.
Do what they've done over the years.
And since we had the conversation, the actual cost for just the generator was $77,000, and he just got the quote. It must have been last week while I was out.
So whatever new generator you and Jed are looking at as your application here, it would run, I want to be sure, it would run the boiler
Run the entire organization.
and the kitchen ovens and the lights.
Everything.
How many?
Then you can leave the other one there for emergency?
Is that right?
250?
Am I wrong? He just told me before I left. And it was,
Should be more than that, I think.
I can find out. He told me right before I left because he had the quote in his hand.
So this is, according to my understanding, this is the HGMP money, and Montana got relatively more of it, and it's this Kent Atwood guy that you guys have met. The FEMA person with that's in Helena. So what he's saying, Jeff's saying until there's another disaster or whatever. This is related, the reason that there's FEMA money is because of the flood disaster, the presidential disaster we had last year.
It's 77,000 for the generator, and how much more?
Yeah, he's estimating about 150,000 total for install the hookups. That was the top level.
Rewired.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then for the whole amount?
Yes, sir.
What are you gonna do if they offer you half?
But that's when they're crazy. But no, I think one of the things that we would look at doing is the USDA has also offered a grant, not a match, from them. It's not a loan from them, but it's a grant for the generator. And actually, they were going to bring out their engineers for us and take a look at where the current one is and see what everything was. And when I guess we got the snow, they got snow a couple of weeks ago. They weren't able to come over.
Is this rural development?
Yes.
Okay, from Bozeman then?
No, they're actually out of Missoula.
Okay.
And their office is right across from that Walmart, or Walmart or whatever.
I've been in there, so, but it's rural development, yeah, which, that's one of their big mandates is electricity or energy,
Energy.
yeah.
Well, that's a lot of money extra just to put in, ain't it?
It is. That's where we run into,
$73,000, damn near as much as it did.
Yeah, much in there.
if you look at, one of the things we run into is a lot of times our manpower is the
I mean, I'm not
biggest cost, yeah.
Well, they have, because it's a commercial building and a hospital building, it's all major